What's going on, chat? Not a whole lot, but I just want to take a couple minutes to kind of go over a couple things and just chat for a minute before I started off this stream. Basically, I want to start off with a little bit of selfishness. I got a couple communities that I joined, and they want an intro, so I'm gonna use this video as the intro. But figured if I'm gonna chat for a little bit, give a chance for some of the core community to come in. Get a couple questions about like why I got out the Marine Corps and why I'm streaming and stuff like that. So Andre, thanks for the like. I appreciate you stopping by. Why the like is all the way down the corner, but like up top. Anyway, start the video off, do my intro so I could share it to some of the communities that I'm on, and answer a couple of questions that I got out there. So anyway, why am I making this video? Pretty much what I was talking about. A little bit of a selfishness to get my intro vid out the way and get my membership in some of the communities that I joined. And yeah, kind of seen a couple of live feeds from friends and a couple posts that they made. Kind of got onto the bandwagon of if you don't do it now, you're never going to do it. So I figure, I mean, realistically, do I think we're going to take off and I'm going to make $1 million from this? No. But if I don't give it a shot, probably never will. So I play games as it is. We gotta jump on and throw it out on a stream. So recently, a lot of the questions that come up in Discord or I get messages afterwards is like why I decided to get out. And you know, I'm not here to bash the military or anything along those lines, but you know, there was a whole lot of aspects, a whole lot of things changed in my life that kind of made me decide that it was the right time. And really, I hit the 10-year mark, and I knew if I kept going, there was no option to getting out after that. So I decided to take the break now. You know, there's so many different aspects of it that kind of made me decide that I needed to take the break now. You know, physically, there's days where I wake up and I can't get out of bed and my back is just all messed up, and you know, there's so many Marines that just deal with it and suck it up. So that's not like a deciding factor. That's not the thing that made me go, oh, it's time. But you know, I go and get treatment for something. You're sitting there getting your treatment started, and then you know, deployment comes up and you're like, oh, I'm fine. So you can go on that deployment and kind of stop taking care of yourself. But you know, there's so many guys that work through that, and you start to think less of yourself because you're not working through it. But definitely not a deciding factor. And I could have kept going. Some of the pain, and so many guys do it all the time. You know, and then it was also the time away from family, and that's another one. Guys deal with it every single day. There's guys that deployed 75% of their career and never get a chance to spend time with their family. My son was born. I missed his whole childhood, deployment after deployment. But again, me and my wife have been together for 16 years almost, and you know, we've been dealing with this forever, and nothing that was not able to overcome. It's just another one of those tick boxes that we're adding up and making decide, you know, probably about the time to take a break. And probably the big deciding factor on time away from family that made me decide that it was time to get out was my father got really sick during my last deployment, and I decided that I needed to have family time. He needs to see his grandkids. Don't get too worried. He pulled through. Everything is good now, but I've got pictures of him spending time with his grandchildren now, and it brings the happiness. So I think it was a good choice. I might regret it eventually. Everybody has those moments of nostalgia where it's like, maybe I should go and talk to the prior service recruiter. But for me, it seemed like the decision to make. Then something that I'm not going to dive too deeply into is the mental health aspect when you start getting depressed or anxious or anything like that. But I was in a pretty dark place. I was dealing with a lot of anxiety, and you know, holding it in, not expressing it because you're taking care of other guys. As a staff NCO in the military, kind of worry about everybody else, and there's not always that community where you want to admit that you're having a rough time. You don't want to damage your self-image, and you don't want to, you don't really want to talk about it, kind of thing. And I was down that deep hole, and that's why brings me to why I started streaming, because I kind of got back into video games. I took a long break from playing, and started playing again, and kind of brought me through, relieved a lot of the stress for me. And I see at night I would sit there and watch some people streaming, and that would also help with the stress. So I figured if I started these videos and anybody jumped on and I was helping them relieve stress, get away from the real world for a little bit, it'll be worth it for me. Even if I get a small following and there's a handful of guys that tune in all the time, maybe I could bring some escape from reality for them for a little bit, and they'll enjoy the videos. Big picture, if we were to make it and the community jumps off and I start getting somewhere with it, I would hope that at some point I can make a community for a lot of vets that are going through some rough times or a little bit stressed out to come and share their streams, and build a community off of that. But that's a long way off. I got to build my own community first. That's being a little bit selfish, but on the same hand, if I tried to build it now, I don't have the following to really make it take off. But it's just a thought, and I'm sure there's a couple communities that exist. I see them on if you search through on Google and whatnot, you can find a couple, but I don't really see anything on Facebook gaming community just specifically for the vets. So, I mean, that's something that I'm thinking about at some point, right? But we don't really know if that's gonna occur. We'll just have to see where it goes from there, right? But all in all, really what happened, a couple guys were posting their live feeds, talking about personal issues, and they would always bring up, I wasn't sure if I was going to make this video, or I was nervous about making this video. And probably the last one that I saw, I told him I'd give him a shout out, so I'm just going to say his name now, and I'll probably tag him in it when I actually clip this and make a video out of it. But Elias Martinez, gunnery sergeant, his time in the Marine Corps, and he released a video, and it really hit me. And it was he was talking about some of his depression issues, and like, you would have never you couldn't tell that existed the entire time that you served with him, because we keep it bottled inside and we don't talk about it, and don't release it. So hopefully this video, somebody takes a look at it and they decide to go after something that they weren't sure about trying, or something along those lines. I feel like this accomplishment. But on the other hand, I'm also going to use it as my intro video, as I was saying in the beginning. So without further ado, I'll keep going down this black rabbit hole. This black hole, the rabbit hole, different things mixed up into one. We'll start off in the game. I'm going to jump into State of Decay. I actually picked up the first one back in like 2013, and I really loved the game. Second one came out on Xbox, and I switched over to PS4 and never got a chance to play it, and now it released on Steam. So if you enjoy any of the gameplay, you can pick it up on Steam. It was just on sale. I don't know if it's going to go back. I decided to make the jump and grab it. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the shares, likes. Get started.